from my phone instead of the computer because it gives me nightmares every time. So hopefully you guys can hear me fine now. I like this shot better. There's a Pac-Man machine. There's my computer right there, and my hoodie's back here. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. I'm going to pull this guy up real quick here. Let's see here. And okay, can you guys hear me at all? I hope the answer is yes. Can you hear me?
Can you?
That's awesome. Okay, we got that working there. So yeah, we have sound. Awesome. That 21 Escape, where you at? Hi, David. Hopefully this is better. I wanted to go over and get the glare off my glasses there. I wanted to go over some rumors that we're hearing about 2024. I can't confirm nor deny things. You guys will see stuff long before I do. So there's rumors about a 2024 Jetta refresh and a GLI refresh. We don't know for sure about that. But the big thing that I do know some things about, I know something's coming, but I can't confirm all of what's coming because it's not supposed to be out there yet. But Atlas and Atlas Crossboard are getting a huge update or huge change for 2024. One of those things is going to be the exterior, the rear end and the front end specifically. I think the front end is going to get new headlights, maybe a LED light bar on the front. The tails are going to be like the ID4. You just ordered that Pac-Man. That's a good little machine right there. I love it. It's got like 12 to 15 games on it, different games. It's got Dig Dug, it's got Galaxians, it's got Galaga. It's got all kinds of good games on it. Plus the classic Pac-Man. So that's pretty awesome. The rear tails are going to be all light up in red. The logo is going to light up in red is what I'm hearing. Also, new interiors for the Atlas and Atlas Crossport. So it's going to be similar to what you see on the Terramont X. Terramont X is the Chinese version of the Atlas Crossport over in China. And then there's going to be an infotainment change. I think it's going more like the ID4 and Golf R and GTI on that infotainment system. There was also a rumor about a new shifter. And I think initially when I told you guys this, we were talking about them possibly having a 23.5. They're not doing a 23.5. They're going to do a 2024. 2024s will start being built, and I can't speak to delivered, but they will start being built around June-ish is what it seems like. That stuff's coming. They absolutely do need to concentrate on the ID7. That will be later in 2024. I think they're saying quarter 3 of 2023. That'll be out as a 2024 model. That'll be exciting to see what that does because there is a great big hole in the sedan market right now. And the only electrified sedans that are really out there are going to be owned by Tesla, and then of course Lucid, and who's got Lucid money. But the ID7 I think is going to be an absolute showstopper. Wouldn't it be cool if that digital cladding was able to be ordered on a car? You could have your car just pixelate like that while you're driving it around. It would cause all kinds of distractions. The NTSB would be like, nope, you can't have that, turn that off. NTSB would be like, nope, you can't have that, turn that off. They wouldn't allow that on the streets, but it would be pretty cool. So if you guys haven't seen what I'm talking about there, just Google ID7 on images and you'll see this digital cloaking kind of on it to hide the lines and stuff. It's actually pretty cool. The ID7 will be coming to the US, and it will be built outside of the US, so it won't be a US built electric. Back to the Atlas though. New interior, new shifter. There's also a rumor that it's getting a new engine. The V6 may be going bye-bye. Same power though, a little more powerful actually. Still have towing, but it sounds like they're getting away from the V6 as another potential change for the Atlas. So interior change, shifter change, infotainment change, exterior taillights, headlight change, and engine change. So those are some big differences that are going to probably make that car. And they're probably going to add some more tech. It'd be nice if they included ambient lighting in that, like the Tiguan and the Taos and the Jetta. But who knows? We don't know for sure. That may come with that new infotainment system. Um, Atlas is selling well, still sells well. The SEL-R-Line Black and the SEL Premium they're still our strong sellers. However, the SEL-R-Line Black, there's so many people clamoring for that in the premium trim level. It would be nice to see if they just add a blackout package to the premium. Obviously, that's going to kick the price of the premium up even more if they did do that. But I wouldn't hold my breath for that. Let's see. That's pretty much it for Atlas. Arteon, we all know Arteon's going bye-bye. The ID7 will replace it. So the Arteons of 2023s, there's still a lot of 2022s out there. We did a search. There's over 200 Arteons that are 2022s still out in the marketplace across the country. And the 2023 is going to be it. We have one more 2023 coming. We sold our 2 SEL Premium R lines. One of them was the Opal White Pearl. I wish I got to make a video of that one before it was gone. It was from the auto show. That one's gone. Golf GTI. GTI has been absolutely at a standstill in park. We only got one 2023 GTI. I've had one on order for about 90 days. There's been zero movement on getting new GTIs in. They're not even showing up in our pipeline. I still have that one on order. The GTI S, still in that 38,000 range. They did upgrade the headlights to everything gets the better LED headlights now. They're no longer doing chamber LED lights on the 2023 GTI. I'm only going over that because no one's seen them really. We got one and we sold it almost immediately. GTI SE still will do the leather package. See here. I feel if they make the Atlas at an MSRP of 62 and above. Let's see here. Let me see here. The MSRP. Yeah, if the MSRP is at 62,000 and above, now you're stepping on Audi territory. You're right. I don't think it's going to hit that 62 mark. It'll get close. It'll probably back down at, let's call it 58, 59 on a high end. And we thought we'd never see that. I never thought I'd see a $55,000 Atlas, and we got there. And now we have some out there in the marketplace that are touching 56. So I think at 58, 59, it starts to back down a little bit. And I hope that's not distracting you over there. But I need to be able to see the chat because I'm doing this on my cell phone. So it's probably better video quality for sure. And hopefully better audio quality too. Now, let's see here. David Langle, yeah, I know you're going to get an ID7. You are the revolving door of cars. I mean, seriously, I could learn a lot from you. You should be a car salesman because you buy cars like you're a car salesman. So that's not a bad thing. That just means you go through a lot of cars. I'm on my 7th Volkswagen. I've had a Jetta. I started with a Jetta. Then we got the Tiguan, the old body style Tiguan. Then we got the GTI. And I had the GTI as so it was a 2014 Passat, or sorry, Jetta, 2016 Tiguan, and a 2016 GTI. Then we got a 2019 Atlas SEL. Now we have a 2020 Jetta R-Line, a 2022 Golf R, and a 2023 Atlas Crossport SEL R-Line Black. So we've got there. 31 years, man, good Lord. Man, you've been around the block a little bit. So the other thing here, I just wanted to make sure I went over, these are all rumors. And I wanted to go through the list of stuff here. So I'm going to tab back over to the web source here. The Golf GTI, I was talking about that. There's still the GTI S, SE, and Autobahn. And of course, that 40th anniversary edition. We haven't seen any of those yet. Those are going to come later in the model year. I got a guy on a wait list for a 40th anniversary GTI. And and we won't get the pick. That's going to be like Golf R. Golf R is you kind of get what you get. We already earned one this year. They're telling us that good luck earning any more. I hear conflicting stories. I hear they're going to build more of them this year. Someone tells me that. They say, I heard they were building more. Well, they're building two trims. They're building the Golf R and the Golf R 20th Anniversary Edition. And then, of course, there's DSG and stick shift and those. The Anniversary Editions are not coming with a sunroof, and the regular ones are. So the one R that we did get this year was a manual, pure white. And everybody on my list, it wasn't a match for any of them. So it actually fell through to a guy that actually reached out to me while it was in the pipeline, and we ended up giving it to him. I want VW to come out with a TIG with a turbo. That's on my list too. There's a rumor that there's going to be a horsepower bump for the Tiguan. Not sure. I'm pretty sure it's going to stay with a 2.0 engine. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same one and they're going to tweak the engine a little bit, but there's going to be a horsepower bump, and I don't know when that hits. That may hit in 2024. There's also an alleged 2024 Tiguan bump. But when you do internet searches, the problem with that is anything you search for VW almost always comes back they're referring to Europe. They're not referring to the States. So on the state side, we haven't heard anything about a Tiguan horsepower. Well, we have heard about the Tiguan horsepower bump, but not my Tiguan is at 73,000 miles. Wow, it's 2021. You've been driving a lot. I don't know of any updates other than there's some tweaking that looks like there's going on with the Tiguan. The body lines are going to be a little different, but of course the pics that are out there have the little cloaking on them to make them kind of confusing. Of course, it's an R-Line spec that they're showing, so it's kind of hard to tell what's really going to come out of that and what's not. There's not going to be like an overhaul or a total refresh or like redesign of the Tiguan just yet, but there are changes coming to that one as well. We can confirm that there is a horsepower bump coming. I'm not sure what that's going to do. Wouldn't it be great if they put that up to 200 horsepower and kept the fuel economy? Yep, they can get about 300 horsepower out of that, but then that would be the Tiguan R. You're starting to get in Tiguan R category. Now, I do have a customer that had bought the first Golf R, the 22 that we got last year, did a transmission and engine tune on his car that added. He got up to 450 horses, and that brings about 420 to 415 to 420 to the wheels. So an incredibly quick car, just got quicker and a little more powerful with that tune. Obviously, he's not going to have all of his warranty in place now, but hey, that's kind of exciting to hear. So back to our GTI 40th Anniversary Edition. Don't know what's going to happen there. How many of those are going to be built? Production numbers on the GTI and Golf R have still been low. They've been kind of, how do we say, not focusing on that car. They're focusing on getting Jettas out. Jettas have been a problem all year, a supply issue. Most of you guys can probably tell around the country that Jettas just have not, they haven't been plentiful. They haven't been readily available for people to buy. We just got a Jetta SEL. It lasted 6 days on the showroom floor, and that was it. Yep, 250 horsepower would be awesome for that, but it begs the other question: what's the fuel economy going to be like on that car? Because people want. What's crazy is the American market. We want horsepower, but we also say we want fuel economy. You can't have both. I don't really see how that works, but a 250 horsepower Tiguan would definitely be nice. That would squash the Rogue and the CR-V. Absolutely just crush them. That puts that car up there kind of close to Audi with a Q5 or a, yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't see Volkswagen really pushing for 250 horsepower. I think they just said they're going to say, hey, it's a horsepower bump. They may take that 184 and bump it up to 196. They may do right at 200. But then that 200 horsepower engine that the Tiguan had before was, well, it wasn't good on gas. It was 19 and 23 miles to the gallon. But the engine acted like it wanted to run out of the hood. Loved the performance of that Tiguan. So next up would be Jetta. Again, there are rumors that the 2024 Jetta is going to get some refreshing done on it, but then again, that's getting confused with the Chinese version of the Jetta, which there's videos out there that show it with Golf R wheels, blue calipers on the brakes, and a Golf headlight setup. I don't see the Jetta going that far. I really doubt that that makes it stateside. Um, I think that's going to be something that makes that car attractive in the Chinese market. Um, we're so far we're 0 for GLIs this year, and it looks like we're going to go the entire model year at our dealership without a single GLI. Nobody's ordered one. We haven't gotten one, and I've seen one make it to the St. Louis market, and I'm sure that dealership probably marked that car up. So they're continuing with the Jetta S, the Jetta Sport. Jetta Sport is a great value car. I would be happy if they just built Jetta Sports for a while and just said, screw the rest. No Jetta S's, no Jetta SEs, and no Jetta SELs, and just focus on Jetta Sport, because that car is a hot ticket. That car is 23 grand with a stick shift, 24 grand probably with an automatic, and it's got the sport, the cross differential. Yeah, it's got cloth seats. It doesn't have a sunroof, but then you save on chips. You don't need chips for a sunroof. You don't need any of that. What I would like Volkswagen to do is maybe just kind of focus on the lower trims for a little bit. And I know people are going, I don't know. Wait. I want my Tiguan SEL-R-Line. That's the problem. Everybody wants those high-end cars, and they use a lot of chips. If we flood the market for a little bit with the S Tiguan, the S and Sport Jetta, I know I just went back on what I said a little bit there, but okay, Jetta S, Jetta Sport. Focus on those. No sunroofs for those. No heated seats for those. No keyless entry. No push button start. Just get those out there, and people get the car with their fuel economy, because the market is so starved for sedans right now, and especially fuel economy minded vehicles. Back now, we're going to Tiguan. Tiguan. The hottest seller still remains the SEL-R-Line Black Edition. That car, badass. Things I'd like to see on that car. Add a heated steering wheel. Simple. We added a heated steering wheel to the Taos SE for 2023. It's standard across the line. Why not just add a heated steering wheel to the SEL-R-Line Black Edition? I think that completes that car. That car has it looks sick on the front, on the outside of it, the black wheels, the black accents, the headlights, the ambient lighting. It's got the sunroof. It's got park distance sensors. Give that thing one last premium feel. Just give it a heated steering wheel. That's all you need to do. You can still go with a manual liftgate on it, the conserved chips, because that's all we've seen in 2023. We have yet to see a power liftgate on a Tiguan less than an SEL-R-Line, even though it's supposed to be standard. Window credits abound for that. The Tiguan SE, I like that car, but it doesn't move nearly as well as the SEL-R-Line. Maybe we eliminate the SE for a little bit, and just go SEL-R-Line and SEL-R-Line, go down to 3 trims. The other thing I'd like to say about the SEL-R-Line, make it in all the colors. Don't make it in just 4. Right now, black, white, gray, or silver. Those are the 4 colors for the SEL-R-Line Black Edition. That's it. That thing would look stupid in King's Red. It would look unbelievable in Atlantic Blue. And I don't understand why they limit the colors on that. Just like the Jetta, the 2019 model year, a Jetta up to the 2021, you could not get an R-Line in blue. Why? Why not a blue R-Line? You can get it in pretty much every other color. You could get it in Tornado Red. You could get it in Habanero Orange. You could get it in white. You could get it in black. You could get it in silver. You could get it in gray. Why not? I mean, it just the R-Line it brings all the boys to the yard. It does. It's got that own little milkshake. Atlas, I went over that one. Man, I just hope the SEL-R-Line Black, like I said before, I hope they can do maybe they just add a blackout package to the premium R-Line. That would be so awesome. And that would lessen the headaches, because we get so many people that are like, I want an SEL Premium. I don't want to lose out on any features, but I want that blackout. Well, if we go aftermarket on a blackout, you're adding 5, 6, 7 even $8,000 to the price of the car, depending on the company that your dealer uses locally. So they're not cheap. Golf R. All of you guys out there that are interested in Golf R, my waiting list hasn't changed because the car that I did get was not a hit for anybody on the list. And I called everybody on that list and said, hey, this car's available. Do you want it? Nope, nope. I'll stick with what I wanted. So Golf R, I don't foresee that getting any better. Here's the other news on Golf R and Golf GTI. We're hearing there's stories out there, and I can't corroborate the stories and say they're truth or fiction. But we're seeing stories starting to emerge that 2024 is going to be the last year for an internal combustion engine on the Golf. They're keeping the Golf name, but they're going to electrify the car. That means an electric GTI and an electric Golf R if they keep those nameplates alive. I don't see why they wouldn't, but at the same time, glad I got my car when I did. I don't know how I feel about electrification on those cars. I mean, that's just a performance machine, and I love my gas engine on that. Cross Sport, I'm just going over the list here. The Cross Sport, I went over that again. Interior update, shifter update, infotainment update, tail light and headlight update. Hopefully we get ambient lighting in that car too. Oh, and a new engine. So those are all rumors that we're hearing about that. ID4, the ID4 for 2024. I'm not sure if that's going to get a refresh or not. That car is still pretty new. It's been around since 2021. The software updates alone were massive. The armrest update in the center is going to be a hit with people being the Chattanooga built one has an armrest rather than the captain's chair armrests and that little storage bin there. People who drive the ID4 can't stop gushing about that car. That car is a silent, I mean, that thing's going to slay it once they get out. And here's the beauty about the ID4. You can no longer order that car online. We were doing it where you had to order that car like a Tesla, where you placed your order, you did your $500 deposit, $500 in deposits total to order that car, and then it showed up. Some people waited over 12 months for the car. You waited for that car to show up at the dealership, and there wasn't anything to drive. Now, at least in my market, there are ID4s at dealerships. There's a lot of 2022s out there, but there are some 2023s that are in the pipelines and are going to start showing up at dealerships. These 2023s have a shelf life, or I won't say a shelf life. They last on the lot days, not weeks. Even in this market, even in this slower car market, these cars are not sitting around long. People drive them and they go, oh, okay, I'll buy that. So it's going to be hard for the dealerships to get stocked up on these, but that's the plan, that they're going to stock the dealerships with these cars. You're going to be able to go to your dealership and get an ID4. No new shots of the new Atlas online. This car, oh, my source, yeah, people who take pictures of this get fired. Unemployment line. So you're not going to find pictures of this car. They're very particular about that. Let's see here. Yes, absolutely. Interest rates are affecting sales. Exactly how you think they are. You talk about pouring a bucket of water on a blazing fire. Yeah, that's what they're doing. And that's the goal. Their goal, they say it's to slow the economy. I feel like it's to crush the economy. So yes, interest rates are having an effect on sales. And it's affecting the buyers. The buyers of cars now, we have totally flipped 180 degrees on type of buyer that's out there now. Before, let's say the last quarter of the year, we could feel things cooling off. Things were cooling off. Things were slowing down. For a while there, it was, okay, I'll just buy what you have. What do you have? What can I get today? What car can I drive off with today? And if we had 4 Atlases, we had 5 buyers. And it's like that car's MSRP, that car's MSRP, and that car's MSRP. Take it or leave it. And people would say, I'll wait, and go, okay, thank you, Mr. Customer. And that car was sold literally to the very next customer that came in. That's how it worked for over a year. Then it started slowing down a little bit. Now it's to the point where there isn't that much traffic throughout the week. We get slammed on the weekend on Saturday. Saturday is our biggest day of the week. And we can't help everybody that comes in. So it's slowed down, but at the same time, it's more concentrated. It's a great problem to have. I mean, when you sell everything on the weekend, that's crazy. Excuse me. They're not selling during the week anymore. That's a weird dynamic, something I wouldn't expect, and I don't know what that's equated to. A partridge, yeah, a PHEV Atlas. Volkswagen's not really going with that. They had the Jetta and they had the Touareg, and they're not going to really. They're not really going to. They're not really investing in hybrid technology in the U.S. And we have a lot of people who come in. What do you have in hybrids? Nothing. Okay, on to the next dealer. Toyota kind of created that, and people have that expectation that everybody has a hybrid. Volkswagen doesn't. And I don't know that they're really going to invest in doing hybrid. They're going to go 100% electric and gas, and they may invest in hydrogen or something at some point, but not at this point. $1,300 a month. I heard 1,000, 1,300. Yeah, that's a little bit on the ridiculous side. But here's the thing, guys. I told a customer this yesterday because we run into this a lot. Customers come in now, and a lot of customers walk out because of the payment. And they're mad at us because we can't cut the price of the car to make their payment where they expect it to be. If you're walking into a dealership right now, any dealership in the country, doesn't matter where, doesn't matter the brand of car. If you walk in and your expectations are to have a $350 payment, sorry, that can't happen. Math doesn't lie. Math is math. With the interest rates the way they currently are, a $350 payment is nearly impossible. Notice I said nearly. Because a lot of you will go out there to your calculator and say, hey, wait, look at this. This works. That's a $350 payment. Yeah, but how much is the car? 11 grand? 12,000 bucks? 13,000 bucks? And what's the interest rate? 8%? 9, 10, 11, 12? What's the interest rate? The interest rates are high. We can't fix the interest rates. So what I told this customer yesterday was, you can go longer financing term. And before everybody, oh my gosh, you told them you did not put them in a 7-year loan. Well, they had a payment they had to get to, 7-year loan, got them there. Now here's exactly what I told the customer. Yes, that's a long time to finance a car. That's longer than ideal. However, you have an ideal payment that you need to get to. Get that payment now because the Fed just adjusted the rates again up. The rates are still going up. So get that rate now. At least you're in at this rate with this low payment. Refinance that car in 2 years or 3 years. The rates aren't going to keep going up 2 years and 3 years from now. They're definitely going to either plateau or they'll start to tick down again and become a little more reasonable. But you'll be able to lower your payment. Probably not, but you'll be able to maintain the payment you have now with less interest. So refinance the car at a later date with the lower interest rate. The payment won't change, probably it'll stay the same, but your interest rate, the money that you're paying out of pocket for interest, that goes down. So buy a car now knowing that you're going to refinance it later. That's how you have to look at it. Because if you're going to be that customer that says, hey, I'm not going to pay that rate, I'm not going to buy a car, I'll just wait. Well, where do you think the rates are going to land? If you think about it, from 2008 to now, or till 2022, rates were artificially low because they did it on purpose to keep the economy going. Well, now we went too far the other way. Inflation got out of control, and the economy was superheated, and now they're trying to put the brakes on to slow that down. This again is on purpose. So If you think 6 months from now the rates are going to be back down to 3 and 4% or 2% or anything like that, no, that won't happen. They'll plateau and they'll stay level and they'll hold status quo for probably a year or two, and then they'll start to come down because at that point they're going to stop with the inflation, trying the inflation reduction measures and things like that. Things will kind of go back to normal, but you can't control it. So waiting on a car, I don't know. If you need a car, get the car and just adjust. If no one bought cars for 900 days, then the manufacturers would bring back. You're partially right, but just because some do it doesn't mean they're all going to do it. Because there's people out there doing 0%. The people that can afford to do 0% for 36 months, that's the other catch. 0% for 36 months. Think about that. No interest for 3 years. If you buy a $43,000 car, that's a huge payment still. That plays into your $1,300 a month payment for 36 months. That's still a lot. That kills a lot of families. So they are doing these introductory or these rates where they're low, but look at the terms. 36 months, 48 months. They're not 60 months. A lot of cases, they're not 72. Those are your two averages. And there's a couple out there for 84 months, but they're not doing 0%. They're doing something else. So there's a little bit of trickery in there, and all it is to stimulate the interest and make sure the dealers still keep people coming to their lots. Yeah, it's an interesting market right now. Very interesting. I think I covered ID4. I got off topic there. Taos 2024. I don't hear anything yet because we just got our 2023s. 2023s did add a heated steering wheel for the SE model. The 2023 S model front wheel drive keeps the black alloy wheels that the Taos came with for both trims, both 4Motion and front wheel drive in 2022. In 2023, the Taos S all-wheel drive comes with now 18-inch. I believe they're 18-inch, either 17-inch or 18-inch silver alloys. They're the same as the black wheel package Taos from 2022, only they're not painted gloss black. They're just silver. The other change that happened in 2023 for the Taos is the panoramic sunroof is now standard. Yeah, of course they would, because no one finances. You're absolutely right. No one finances for 36 months. Who can afford that kind of payment? Only the cash buyer. And if they can afford that, they're just going to pay cash. That's kind of it for that lineup there. Another rumor for 2024 is now there is a rumor that's going around. I saw it 2 days ago that there's going to be a sub ID4 for the U.S. and it's going to be built at Chattanooga. I don't know where this story got all its sources from, but they're allegedly going to build a smaller, they're going to call it an ID3 in the U.S., and it's important to note the ID3 in Europe is a Golf-type hatchback. The ID3 for the U.S., this story alleges, will be an SUV, so I'm guessing more like a Taos-size electric. And I would guess if it's smaller like that, they're probably going to focus on it having the 62 kilowatt battery and not the 82. So it's going to have lesser range, but that's going to be a car that's going to be more affordable. I'm going to guess that car, and this is just a guess, this is just me just spitballing, that car is going to start somewhere in the high, probably the low to mid 30s. And then after, if it qualifies for a tax rebate, any kind of tax rebates, it'll be in the high 20s as an electric. And that car will get probably somewhere in 120 to 150 mile range. Actually, it'll probably get more than that because I think the 62 kilowatt battery does still get close to 200. I don't remember because we haven't seen any of these cars. We haven't gotten any yet. We have them on order. That would be the ID4 standard. And speaking of cars that we haven't gotten yet or haven't seen, the ID4 Pro S Plus. There's a number of those in our pipeline that customers have ordered. That's essentially the SEL premium version. of the ID4. Those are in a pipeline and they keep getting delayed. So there's something going on with those, but they will get built. I'm excited to see I got one coming in pure gray and one coming in tourmaline blue. Those are going to be gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous vehicles to see, especially with the wheel setup that they have on that ID4. Um, yeah, around 30 grand, David, that would be accurate. Let's see here. I'm going to go back to the screen here because I want to make sure I answered all of these questions here. Um, Bear with me here. So Madison, you replaced. If you're still there, I see you replaced your battery in your car. Let's see. Jetta Sport is a perfect car. Just need keyless. Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. It is the perfect car. Let's see here. I want to make sure I covered this. Do you guys have any questions at all? There's a few of you out there. If you got any kind of questions, go ahead and send them to me here. And I apologize for the crudeness of this whole setup here, but I think the phone is going to be my winner. That's what I'm going to use. I just have to figure out how to use this screen, the screen here, and show the live chat on the screen as I'm touching the screen here. So the live screen pops up on the screen here, but it disappears before I can read it all. So that's what I'm struggling with. So that's why I'm looking over here. That's not good theater. A couple other things I wanted to go over that are kind of not related to that. My YouTube channel, a lot of you guys know it is monetized. So I got flagged by YouTube. I guess I'm sharing the videos too much. What I do with these videos that I make, I share them with a lot of people, and I don't mind people sharing it. If you share your share my videos, I'm not mad at you. The ad, yeah, the phone is much better quality. I definitely agree with you. Golf R owner here. I've been having issues with the interior quality. Have you had such issues with your interior quality? No, I have not had a single issue with the interior quality of the car. I do have an issue with sensors. I get errors a lot that say that the SOS is unavailable and travel assist is unavailable. So I have an appointment to get that looked at, and I know that's just software. And the sensors and all that stuff, that's not a Volkswagen thing. That's a technology thing. So they'll get that fixed. One of my all-wheel drive Pro Gradient package just had the front motor replaced. Took 54 days. Yikes. I'm sure that was parts related. National back order is a real thing. A new steering wheel seems to fix the errors. Really? So Matthew, have you had that done? Did you have to get a new steering wheel? Did you go OEM with the steering wheel, or did you go aftermarket? And was it the capacitive touch? I'm curious. Let's see. And guys, my Golf R is nearly flawless. Let's talk about that for a second. Things I love about my Golf R. It's fast. Oh, it's hella quick. I have never done launch control. I'm too chicken to try launch control because I'm going to do it near a cop or something somewhere. I'm all the way out. I'm in a rural city, or city that's out kind of in the rural fringes. There's a perfect road for me to test it out on, but it's a road that the GM plant is on, and I'd have to do it after hours. No, I haven't heard others. Went to the dealership to get a new steering wheel under warranty, and it seems to fix all of the errors. Okay. My GTI MK7 has 180,000 on it and only had normal work done, and it has been great. Yeah, the Mark 7, the Mark 8s, love them. I had a Mark 7 before. I had the 7 before the 7.5 came out as a 2016. And I absolutely missed that car after I got rid of it. We got an Atlas instead of the GTI. Love the Atlas. The Atlas was an absolute beast. It was a road trip machine. Best car I'd ever owned outside of the GTI. Now having that Golf R, the car is, God, I love that car. I've turned into that guy. Parking all the way out in the far part of the parking lot. I got PPF on it. Um, I just, oh my gosh, I cringe when I want it when I need to get it washed because it's too cold for me to hand wash it, and I just drive around with it dirty. Ooh, did I say that? Ooh, I hate that. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to try launch control. I definitely am. I just got to find a place to do it, especially in that car. And I tried the car out and I chickened out on it. I put it in Nürburgring mode. That's a subset of race. Holy crap! Um, that was scary. That was scary. And this car is stock. So, yeah. Yeah, David, you have OCD. Yeah, I hate dents too. Oh man. So yeah, that was great. What was I going to talk about here? I kind of got off. I went off a little bit. Yeah, the Nürburgring modes. It's super quick, and I'm like, holy crap, holy crap! I need to go back to sport mode. No, because I'm in traffic and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, so that was something special. I may have to take this car to a track, just because this car is so freaking amazing, and I just haven't. Oh, I haven't got to experience everything with it. And I promised I'd make more videos about that car, and I just haven't. This year was so dang busy selling cars. I ended up being the #1 salesman in the state of Missouri. My dealership there's only 3 salesmen. I'm #1. The guy that sits next to me is #2, and the guy that sits in between us is #5 in the state. So between the 3 of us, we're kicking ass and taking names on selling new Volkswagens in the state of Missouri. We hope to do that again this year. The other thing that I was talking about, YouTube, the monetization. Somehow YouTube has decided that I am getting too many views, too many for the ad revenue that they were paying. So YouTube has slashed the ad revenue that they pay me for these. So that's what I use to get equipment, to build this room and all that stuff and all that. This is not a sales pitch or anything, but if you appreciate the videos, you can hit the thanks down there and donate. That helps me out. I appreciate it. Thank you in advance. If you do that, you don't have to. You're not obligated to do that, but I cannot fix the problem that YouTube is saying that I have with invalid traffic. There are days where I'll get I average in a 2-day period somewhere between 13 and 15,000 views. I don't know how that's possible on the videos I have, but it's happening. And I'm not going to complain about that. But they flagged it as invalid. They think I'm maybe I'm abusing the system in some sort. So the only thing I ask is, if you guys are clicking on ads, if you're not interested in it, don't click on the ad, because that's actually hurting me and my channel, I guess, in YouTube's eyes. The other thing I'll point out, I have these guys right here. I have 3 of these. I have Teespring up on the link there. This is a hoodie right here. It's got my logo on it right there. If you want to buy one of those to support the channel, you can do that. I've got that one. I've got this kids one here in white. I'll show you this one right here. The Teespring link right there on the banner at the top. I've got that one. And then I've got a zippered one here. This was my kids' advice to do this. Dad, you need merch. Okay, whatever. So we're trying that out too. So again, you don't have to donate. I'm not asking. I'm not begging or pleading. I'll be all right. But man, it was nice to get the ad revenue there, and then YouTube just kind of pulled the rug out from under it. So a lot of times you won't see advertising on my videos anymore. They just go straight to it. And I don't know how I'm going to fix the problem with YouTube. I actually tried to call YouTube and straighten it out, and I ended up getting scammed. There was a fake website on the back side of YouTube with a number to call. I called it, and the guy tried to take me and tried to empty my bank accounts. And he said he was with YouTube, and he wasn't. So thankfully I didn't lose any money. I got all of my stuff changed, my debit cards and all that stuff, but he had access to the back screen and on the stuff on the computer. So guys, be careful with their scammers out there. They'll put up phony websites on the back of things to make them look like they belong to what you're looking for. I started with a Google search to get there and popped up, and it was a disreputable site. And yeah, so all kinds of fraud alerts came up and stuff like that. Thankfully, I didn't lose any money on that, but he damn sure tried. He tried to empty my bank accounts and my crypto. So hey, watch out, people. Watch out for the scammers out there. Let's see. Any other questions out there? Any at all? Yeah, Jeff G, there's a lot of people doing research. So I think that's how I get the views that I get now. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, I tried to add a little bit more of a cinematic quality to the thumbnails on these. I started playing with stuff on my camera, and I started finding some cool things to do. So the picture quality is getting better. I'm going to incorporate my actual digital SLR into this, maybe do live videos with that, because this is so much better than the webcam on the computer screen. So this is way better. Let's see here. How many more hours do you expect to be allocated to your dealership in 2023? That's a great question. We were told don't expect any more. Literally, they told us this is the only one you may get. So we don't know what to expect on that. Let's see here. What do you think of the wheel change on the SEL-R-Line Black? I like my 2022 wheels better than it. I'm kind of impartial. I like them either way. I was kind of surprised that they changed them between 22 and... Oh, wait a minute. 20. You're referring to 21 to 22, right? Oh, no, you're referring to 23. Yeah, I don't... It doesn't bother me. The 22 wheels were fine. I'm not sure why they changed them in 2023. I'm sure they had a reason. For those of you who are not understanding the wheel pattern, they're still 19-inch gloss black wheels on the 23 SEL-R-Line Tiguan. However, it's a different pattern. So that's what he's asking about. I'm pretty impartial to it. I liked them as a 2022. I don't mind them as a 2023, so I don't really see the big difference there. Yeah, so Matthew, last year we got allocated 2. This year we got allocated 1. And what sucks for our dealership is the fact that they're using sales history to allocate these cars. What's unfortunate for us is in 2019, we got 9 Golf Rs. We had 3 of them at one point, at one time on the ground. In 2020, there were none. In 2021, there were none. In 2022, we got 2. Actually, we had 3, but one was a replacement. The one that I bought was a replacement for one that sank on the Felicity Ace, sank and burned, or burned and sank on the Felicity Ace. So, we essentially got 2. And then for this year, they're saying 1, and it's because they're just not building these cars. Right now, let's see if I can pull it up here. I'll see if I can pull it up here. Golf R. Since the year began, 1 week there was 133. This is Golf R and GTI together. There was 133, then 127, then 190 units built. So they're stepping up. They're stepping up production in little baby steps. So that's total probably just under 600 units, probably 5, somewhere in the upper 500s. So that's GTI Golf R and the anniversary models. So that's 20th anniversary 20th anniversary Golf R, regular Golf R, GTI-S, GTI-SE, and GTI Autobahn, because they're not building 40th anniversary yet. So that's not even including the 40th anniversary GTI, and that's all they built. So you see they got a mountain ahead of them, and there's a couple weeks ahead of that where they built zero cars. So all of the cars that are out there are in the pipelines to be heading to dealers soon. So if you have a dealership that has a GTI in their pipeline, it's probably still at factory status. So there's going to be a while, and plus these things get put on water. They come from Germany, so they'll take a good 30 days to travel across the Atlantic and make it to port. And then when they get to port, there's going to be a distribution hold. It's what Volkswagen does because they want to make sure that every dealer gets one at the same time. So one dealer won't get their one, and then no, they don't want a dealership to have an unfair competitive advantage over others. So the way that GTI it'll land at port, and they'll allocate them all to the dealers, and they'll make sure every dealership gets one, whether it be a GTI-S, a GTI-SE, or a GTI Autobahn. And considering there haven't been any Autobahns, there haven't been any Autobahns as of yet, and there haven't been any SEs as of yet, that at least that I've seen. It makes me think that they're still building S's, and the one that I have on order is an S, and it has yet to be fulfilled. So it makes me think that they're going to be really slow to get these out, and then at the end they may just crap a bunch of them out and just send them out all at once. It's a really weird world that we're in right now, and their focus is going to be on adding these other electrified cars to the lineup too. So the ID7. Oh, we didn't talk about the ID Buzz. That was the one we didn't talk about. Oh, so your local dealer got an Autobahn with a leather delete. So see, we haven't even seen those. ID Buzz this year. It'll be, I think they're saying summer, which makes me think Q3 is more realistic. ID Buzz, we have 3 on a wait list for an ID Buzz. We don't know how that's going to work. We don't know if they're going to do the reservation platform again like they did for ID4. But that reservation platform was, that thing got overwhelmed. It was doing way more volume than it was designed to do, so they actually sunsetted that platform in the first 3 days of January this year. So I don't know that they're going to go back to that. I don't know if they're going to reinvent that again. I think they're just going to try to stock dealerships with ID Buzz. So that'll be interesting too. That's going to have a huge following. That's going to bring out all of the people from the 60s and 70s that had a bus. Man, that thing's going to be popular. And that's going to be a hard get. And that thing's going to start around 60 grand. We don't have any details on that other than the fact that it's probably going to be a 7-seater like the Atlas for the US, and they're not sure. They're not sure what they're going to get there. David, so have you not got any kind of communication on your updates for your ID4s yet? Because I know they're coming, and they're doing these in blocks. They're doing them in deliberate small blocks because it's an 8-hour process. And also, they need to make sure that the dealership has an ID4 as a loaner car for ID4 customers that are getting that update. So it's going to be a slow process. But your dealership should be communicating with you. Let's see. Is it possible to factory order a GTI, or is the GT? Yes, you can factory order a GTI. Let's see here. Yeah, it does. It does suck that they're doing the over MSRP units are getting allocated to those. But you know what? It is what it is. All we can do is we can argue with Volkswagen and say, look, here, in 2019, this is how many we sold. You got to help us out here. In 2022, we sold 2, and that wasn't any fault of ours. Let's see here. The 2024 Jetta comes with ventilated seats. That I'm not sure. The 2023s, the SEL is supposed to have ventilated seats, but has not. And that is due to the chip shortage, and they give you the window credit sticker. or the window sticker credit, I should say, for the ventilated seat delete. I can't speak for 2024. I don't know if it's going to have that or not. Heck, I don't even know how it's going to show up in the Atlas. I don't know what changes that upholstery update is going to make for the Atlas. I'm going to presume that they're going to keep the R lines around, and they're going to continue to do the SEL-R-Line Black and the SEL Premium R-Line the way they do it when they do these other ones. David, that's exactly why they were doing small bursts with the updates, if to make sure they didn't have any issues. So it sounds like they're still having they're trying to keep it to a minimum. Let's see here. Actually, the Golf R is up a little bit. It's not quite $700, but it is up a little bit. Matthew, let's see here. The what was I going to say? Oh, ID Buzz. I can't wait for that one to show up. The ID7 is going to be awesome too. That's going to give us 3 electrics in the ID4, the ID7, and the ID Buzz. And then if that ID3 comes to fruition, I want to guess that shows up sometime in 2024, and they're going to end up building that in Chattanooga. So they're going to run pre-series and all that stuff and make sure fit and finish and all that stuff works out. So that 2020 or that ID3 is probably going to be a 2023. I'm sorry, 2024 or 2025. I don't know that it's going to be much sooner than that. On an interesting note, though, at least for my local Missouri area, I did hear something from a customer in regards to the ID4's competition. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 is not allowed to be sold in Missouri. So evidently, the Ioniq 5 has the same issues that the VW e-Golf had in the States, where it's not allowed in all 50 states. And I'm not sure why that is. And in this day and age, that's kind of unfortunate. But from an EV standpoint, man, that makes a better play for the ID4. The ID4 is going to be a hot seller. If it's not yet in your area, it will be. The thing is, we just got to get people to drive those. If you have one at a local dealer there, I know you're not interested in electric, you're interested in internal combustion cars, man, but you owe it to yourself to drive an ID4. Just go down there and say, hey, look, this guy Reese that does these videos, he said to come drive an ID4, and I'd be pleasantly surprised. You will be. Drive it in regular drive mode. It'll drive just like a gasoline car. The turning radius, oh my gosh. Ioniq 5, not impressive, huh? I haven't seen one. But a customer told me that, and I was kind of surprised that in this day and age that there are states that are not allowed to sell, that's not allowed to be sold in. The EV6, I'm seeing a lot of those around, and a lot of people went to the EV6 because the EV6, there's a lot of them out on the road around here. I don't know how many of those were built, but a lot of people turned to those because the ID4, they were waiting so long. I lost a few customers that were interested in an ID4 on an EV6 because they could readily get that car. They could just drive down to the dealership and get one, and Volkswagen wasn't building them fast enough, and they were coming from Germany. Now with that bottleneck erased, and these cars coming out of Chattanooga, and in some weeks they're building over 600 of these, yeah, that's going to be a game changer. So the ID4 is going to start showing up on the streets. And the 2023 model allegedly will qualify for, and I said allegedly because this changes. You may see this video 2 weeks from now and it'll be different again. It qualifies for some type of tax credit, but you are supposed to contact your tax professional for that. Contact your tax professional. That's it. I can't give you advice on that. And now the IRS has a form that you have to have filled out when you buy a clean vehicle. So at the dealership, we're going to give you a form to sign off on as well. That's a new rule too. So ID4 is going to be a big player in the U.S. market coming soon, so stay tuned. And then when I get one of those ID4 Pro S Pluses, I will be making a video of that as soon as I get my hands on it. Oh yeah, and the EV6 is 5,000 over MSRP. We're not marking up our cars, so there you have it. ID4 MSRP, federal tax credit, built in Chattanooga. What more do you need? I mean, that's awesome. So let's see here. Execution. What are you referring to? The summary that just came in. What are you referring to? And Matthew, my Golf R doesn't seem like it has a terrible turning radius. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. I haven't really had to do like a sharp turn or anything like that. I haven't done any drifting in the snow. We haven't. Good Lord, I couldn't wait. I'm waiting for a nice 3-inch, 4-inch snowfall to do some drifting. So I can't wait. So let's see here. Execution, you still out there? My RDR has a better turning radius than the R. It was a big shock to me when I got the Golf. Really? Now I'm going to have to test that out. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. I'll have to test that out. Because I'd be surprised by that. Because the GTI and the Golf R being that small of a car, I think that would be pretty nimble. Thank you, David. Take care. So execution, we've talked about, let's see here. We talked about the new Atlas changes coming in 2024. I went through all of the different models here. So Arteon, I'll just recap real quick. Arteon's dead after 2023. The ID7 replaces it. ID7 is supposed to come out sometime in Q3, I believe. Hey there, Mr. Garrett. How are you? Golf GTI, GTIS, GTI-SE, GTI Autobahn. They're finally starting to build those. They're building just over 150 of those units a week right now. 40th anniversary edition. Still not building those as of yet. Allegedly, they're not building those. Also, Golf R, they're telling us the allocation that we got. The one that we got is all that we're going to get for this year. And then the Golf R anniversary edition, no sunroof. And if we're stuck with just one for allocation this year, that's all we're going to get. It doesn't matter. But we're still fighting for others because we got a wait list of 7 people deep waiting for that car. And if we can get our hands on other ones, we're definitely going to do that. The other thing about the Golf family is 2024 is allegedly the last year of internal combustion engine for that car. They're going to electrify the Golf, keep the nameplate, and so there'll be a GTI-E, I guess that's what they're going to call it, and a Golf R or an E-Golf R. I don't know what they're going to call them. But that's allegedly coming through. I saw a news story on that. Jetta, don't really know any changes on that. We're still 0-4 on the GLI. We aren't getting any GLIs as of yet for 2023 model year. We've yet to see any. And we get 1 to 2 Jettas at a time. I do have a Jetta Sport that's available in a manual stick shift, obviously, in white that's coming. It's not reserved or spoken for. So if someone out there knows someone looking for a Jetta S, we'll get that. Tiguan, horsepower bump on it, allegedly. Hopefully that'll be in 2024. And there's also some stories and pictures out there of some exterior tweaks and changes to the 2024 Tiguan. We don't know if that's going to be just European spec or if that's going to be the U.S. as well. Because over in Europe, they have an all-space. They have a short body. Both the same body style, but one's a short body, one's a long body. They call it all-space. We don't know what's going on with that, and if they're going with the LWB Tiguan that's in the States. And LWB meaning long wheelbase. That's all we get in the States. And then Atlas, new taillights, new interior, new shifter, new infotainment system. Hopefully ambient light comes with that. but the new interiors are going to be really, really, really nice. They're going to add some bougie to the Atlas. Um, Hopefully they'll keep everything else like the R-Line trims. We don't know. I don't know anything about any of that stuff. All of that stuff is rumored. And then there's also a rumor of a new engine for the Atlas as well. A more powerful engine, and it's not a V6. Then Golf R, of course, I touched on that with GTI. And then Atlas Cross Sport, again, new engine, new tail lights, new LED headlights, allegedly, new interiors, and new shifter, new infotainment, just like Atlas. ID4, no real rumors on that as of yet. We're waiting to see an ID4 Pro S Plus. Can't wait to see that. That's essentially the SEL premium version of the ID4. There's 2 of those in our pipeline. I'll make videos of those when they land. 2024, I got nothing on the Taos. The 2023 Taos added a heated steering wheel in the SE standard, and the SEL added a panoramic sunroof standard. No extra charge for it there. So that's basically a recap of all of that. ID Buzz supposedly will start in the summer of this year. We'll start seeing those. I've got 3 of those on reserve. The ID Buzz will be supposedly a 7-seater. And they're not, the last I had heard, there was no decision on whether they were going to do just rear-wheel drive or they're going to do all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive on that 100% electric minivan, minibus. That thing is going to kill the minivan market. I tell you what. And it's going to start right at about 60 grand. So that car is going to be affordable to a lot more people than, say, a Tesla. And then ID7. ID7, again, late summer, Q3, allegedly. That will be coming to the dealerships in the U.S. Won't be U.S. built. Won't qualify for a tax credit. It'll be German built, but it'll be in the U.S. And this will be a replacement for the Arteon/Passat. So it's going to have that kind of leg room, headroom, all that kind of stuff like a Passat, and it's going to be an EV. And also another rumor with that is it's going to get close to 400 miles of range, somewhere close to 400 miles of range, allegedly. The other thing that I talked about was an ID3 for the U.S. market, which is going to be a small EV electric SUV. Whereas the ID3 over in Germany is allegedly going, or the ID3 in Germany is a hatchback like the Golf. The ID3 for the U.S. that may be built in Chattanooga. That was another news story that alleged that that it will be built in Chattanooga and it will come out sometime, hopefully next year, 2024. It'll probably be a 2025 model when that happens, because I'm sure that there's going to be some type of retooling of that line to build that car. Let's see here. What kind of questions did I miss here? I don't have any in-stock Arteons. They're all gone. We were discounting those cars about $3 grand just to make a move. That was a question about the Arteon. Let's see here. Thank you, David. Let's see here. What kind? I'm lowering my 2021 Jetta SE. Yep, the Jetta SE. It was a great trim on car. And earlier, I kind of alluded to the fact that, hey, if I were Volkswagen, what I would do, you might want to cover your ears a little bit. I'd said that maybe you just focus on building Jetta Sports or even Jetta S and Jetta Sports for a little bit, just to kind of fill the market up with some Jettas and save on some chips. Execution, why is it better than a Palisade? Well, here's the thing about the Palisade. It's a nice car. It is a Hyundai. I like the Atlas because it's got German engineering. It's not Korean. It's not anything like that. Here's what the Palisade does well. The Palisade and the Telluride do interiors well. They give you that feel that you're getting a lot for your money on those cars. Here's the things that I don't like about Hyundai and Kia, and I'm referring to them kind of in the same breath because they're sister companies. One's the parent company to the other, and one bought the other. I don't remember who bought which, but they're the same company. The thing I don't like about them, number one, is they're selling them over MSRP, and they have been for a long time. They're taking advantage of the fact that they can't that they can't keep up with demand on the car. I get that. Um, but that's going to, at some point, that's going to come around and bite you in the butt when it comes to trading that car. Yeah, right now on a Carfax, if you trade in a Telluride, if you trade in a Palisade, they hold their value, but that market's quickly disappearing and collapsing. Um, these values are artificial on these cars, um, especially when you go to a dealer that's marking it up 5 grand, 10 grand, 5 to 10 grand over. If you don't bring that money as a down payment, good luck getting a bank to actually. So essentially, a Palisade that's $49,000 is now marked up to 54, and then the bank's going to finance that 54 plus anything you add. If you add an extended warranty or something like that, everybody goes, well, Hyundai and Kia, they have those extended warranties up to 100,000 miles. It's only on the first owner, first of all. It's not transferable, and there's gimmicks in there because they do have engine issues, um, and they're having a hard time. Customers are having a hard time getting engines replaced when they need engines replaced. We hear that a lot. We're hearing that from customers who are trying to get. They're switching to an Atlas because they don't want to deal with that, or they've heard of it, or neighbors had that issue, or family members. The cars have been around long enough now. We're starting to hear that. From a crash standpoint, I would love to be in a Volkswagen over any other car, anytime, because you have intelligent crash response. And for those of you who don't understand what intelligent crash response is, in the event of a crash, the hazards come on, the dome light comes on, the door is unlocked, the fuel line shuts off, and the car has something called post-collision braking. So the car actually brakes. So if you're knocked unconscious by the airbag or something like that, it's a bad enough accident where you're knocked out and you don't have control of your faculties or whatever to steer the car and brake the car. The car brakes and comes to a stop so it doesn't ping pong down the road and cause other accidents. Or you go sailing into oncoming traffic and cause another collision. Um, those things I actually saw happen live in a police chase where someone stole someone's Atlas and they drove it down an alley and hit a dumpster full speed on film, on camera, on a live police chase. The hazards immediately came on, the airbags popped, the guy got out and started running. It was crazy to actually see that. You tell people that that car has it, but to see it actually happen live was absolutely bizarre. But it proved a point. Yep, I'd much rather be in that car than any other car. I had a family that bought a car from me that flew up from Alabama. They wrecked their car. They couldn't get the car they wanted, so they ordered a car from me. They flew in, drove it home. Anyway, the story is the wreck that he had a medical episode where he blacked out, doesn't remember what happened. He went down an embankment behind the guardrail, missed the guardrail. The guardrail was designed to keep him on the road, but he went behind the guardrail, down an embankment at an exit ramp, and off into like a ditch area and hit like a rock outcrop or something like that. Head on, triggered all the airbags, crumpled the hood, the engine fell out and all that, or dropped down, but there was no encroachment on the brake pedals or anything in the cabin. The airbags deployed. He had a concussion, and there just so happened to be an EMT actually driving an ambulance back from a call behind him and witnessed the whole accident. So they pulled over and ran down the embankment to help him, and they fully expected to find a dead person, and he was just knocked out. That's it. So he survived that. They bought another car. I had another couple who bought a Crossport. They actually got T-boned by a tractor trailer. The guy, for whatever reason, it was his fault. He was at fault. He turned left, and there was a semi coming that he didn't really see initially, and it hit him. And the guy, the truck driver said he bent his brake pedals. He stood on them so hard. And he hit the car, T-boned it, set off the airbags, and the guy was alive and well and bought another Crossport because of the way the car performed. I've had a number of, they send me the crash photos. I hate to see our cars wrecked, but it's happened to me at least 6 times where they go, this car handled so well, I want another one. It's happened with a Tiguan, 3 Crossports, and an Atlas. So let's see here. Let me get back to some questions here. Stephen Lane, that that question you asked about the interior, yes, it's going to look like the Terramount X. It's going to look similar to that. I can't say that it's going to be exactly the same, but it's going to be close. Granbury, the ID Buzz, that's the bus. That's coming out in Q3. So that'll be late summer to fall 2023 as a 2024 model. Execution, I'm ecstatic because good luck selling an Atlas SE Tech with no blind spot, no rear cross traffic alert, and no power liftgate. Gosh, that was the Volkswagen ate it on that one, on deletes. They learned a lot from that. So what they learned is SE Techs don't delete stuff on them. So Atlases so far this year, the only deletes we've seen, no, I haven't seen an Atlas with a delete on it for 2023. I was going to say I've seen some, but I haven't. So no deletes on any Atlases for 2023 models. We did learn something on the Tiguan's too. The Tiguan, let's see. The Tiguan SE, so for 2023, what they learned is don't take away blind spot. So blind spot's back, rear traffic alert, and the blind spot are there. The power lift gate is still gone. So it's still a standard item. It's still on the window sticker, and I'll give you a window credit for it. But it's still not there. The only way to get a power lift gate right now is to get an SEL-R-Line, it looks like. And the SEL-R-Line, they are still doing deleted ventilated seats on some. But here's what I've noticed. When I did an internet search for those cars, there are some out there with ventilated seat delete, but more than likely, they do have the ventilated seat, and they have what's called a steering wheel credit. Not a steering wheel delete, a steering wheel credit. So what's happening is that R-Line steering wheel with the sport grip, the fat grips at 9 and 3, that's also a heated steering wheel, is different. They're giving you a regular heated steering wheel. It'll still say R-Line at the base, but it's not the fat sport grip one. Excuse me. It's now a just a regular flat bottom steering wheel, leather wrapped, heated R-Line steering wheel. And then they give you, I think it's a $200 credit for a steering wheel. Let's see here. Execution, I didn't forget you work for Volkswagen. Yeah. Let's see here. Two kinds of cars in the world, VWs and the rest. I agree. And that's why we got so many brands. We got Volkswagen, we got Porsche, we got Audi, we got Lamborghini, Skoda, we got Ducati motorcycles. I mean, we got all kinds of stuff. Let's see. What other questions you got? Any other questions, guys? Again, I apologize for the crudeness. Now the sun's coming through the blinds over here, so I'm going to probably do it with my phone from now on, at least until I figure out how to better manage stuff. I got this fancy mic over here that, I don't know if you can see that there. Get it over here. Here we go. There it is. I don't want to unplug it. But it gives me fits with the computer, but the webcam is nice and awful on the computer. So I'm probably going to do this more often. And my phone just dropped down on the tripod a little bit there. I just bumped it. The third row in the Tiguan, you got to ask Volkswagen that one. I'm not sure why they only do it in the front wheel drive one now, but I think people have gotten used to it. The third row, I'm surprised at how big of a deal that third row is to people. I really thought that it was going to be a kind of because it's such a small third row seat, but people make a big deal about it. And now in this segment, I want to say, I think it's Nissan now. The new Rogue has a 3-row option or 3-row seat option now. So the competitors, the competition, they're going to start waking up and doing it too. And I was, at first, I really didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. It was going to catch on. People go, oh, don't be ridiculous. No one's going to use that. Why is that even there? But people are like, nope, gotta have 3 rows. Gotta have 3 rows. I'll take it. So it's been a surprising hit in the Volkswagen lineup. Let's see. I kind of think I've run out of stuff to say, but if there's not any other questions, I'm probably going to go ahead and end this. But so, like I said, I will try to work on this and get this better, and hopefully I'll have this room completely done at some point here. It's going to take me a little bit. I've been kind of busy with other stuff, but as I do find out more stuff, I will let you guys know. Our inventory is up. I haven't been doing inventory updates as much either, just because we've been kind of busy. Saturdays have been a really crazy busy day for us. It's a really intense day, and I don't really have the time to do those videos, especially when we're talking about 30 cars or more on the lot now. Barry, the new Volkswagen warranty is 4 years, 50,000 miles. That's bumper to bumper on any new gas or electric car. So it's been 4 years, 50 ever since the 2020, yeah, the 2020 model year. So they're staying with that. And that also includes 2 years of free maintenance, 5 years of CarNet for free, and 3 years of roadside assistance for free. So I'm going to finish this up here, guys. It's been nice talking to you. I appreciate all you guys following the channel and watching the videos. I mean, it's amazing. Oh, I did want to say, I did hit 10,000 subscribers, so thank you to all of you guys there. I know I kind of ran on and rambled today, and I tend to do that, but I appreciate you guys sticking it out. 10,000 subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Also, I did hit, last month I hit 8 million views. 8 million views. So evidently I'm doing something right with the videos. So I'll keep trying to put those videos out there. I try to do them in one take. I don't do all the gushy stuff. I don't do all the fancy camera stuff. I just shoot them on my cell phone because I've got the time to do it. If I've got a minute to do it, I do it. And it's the same cell phone that I get phone calls on. So sometimes they'll say, hey, someone's calling, I got to go. But hopefully I work it out where I don't have to do that. I don't have to stop a video and take a phone call because I end up having to do that video over. But 8 million views, 10,000 subscribers. It's kind of a big deal. And I got these hoodies and shirts. And remember the Teespring stuff up above. You don't have to buy something. But man, if you do, I greatly appreciate it. It helps me out. And I'm going to try to buy more equipment. And I'm going to try to get this. I can't get this thing right. There we go. It's on the pocket or over here on the side. You can do the super thanks anytime I have a live chat. And then down below, you can also do the thanks on the video. Any video that you like, you think, hey, give me a tip, give me $1, or give me $2 or something like that. I'm not asking for a handout. It just helps me manage stuff on the channel. I do this stuff out of my own pocket. So this stuff here, all of this stuff. This kind of became a hobby, and I enjoy doing it, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So thanks a lot, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a great day. Thanks a lot, guys.